All right. Or yeah, Marques Brownlee also did a
lot
China glaze video. Driving Xiaomi's electric car, are we cooked? And that's not even the Ultra one. An actual door handle. In Mexico City, I've seen more BYD cars in the last 2 years than Tesla my whole life. It's not competition at all. Bro, finally buttons for AC controls. Not all things in screen.
lot of hot takes in the tech world, and I see a lot of them in the comments section and in articles all the time, and one of the most common ones is, yo, have you seen these Chinese electric cars? If they ever came to the US, they would cook everything that we have here. They are too good, they have too much tech, and they are too cheap.
Their bitch too bad. Their weed is too loud. Their smoke is too loud, dude. He legit glazes, 100%, no caveats, no nothing. Yeah, because it's good. And even now, when you actually admit that something Chinese is really fucking good, people will still go, oh, I guess you're getting paid by China to do propaganda. But those voices in the next decade will basically go away entirely as it becomes undeniable. Yeah, their steak too juicy, their lobster too buttery. It hurts seeing you have wrong takes on EVs. Wait, what? What are my wrong takes on EVs? My takes on EVs are, first of all, I'm an EV driver. That's number one. And my only wrong take, I guess, on EVs is I hate how everything is on a fucking stupid ass iPad and everything is far too like computer based. And it seems like this BYD car, at the very least, like brings the tactile touch back
to not dominate everything. And so I figured I should get my hands on one and actually figure out if that's true or not. And yeah, you could say there's a little something to it. There are so many crazy things I've learned about this car while I've been testing it, but let's just start with the basics. This car here I've been driving for the last 2 weeks is called the Xiaomi SU7. Yeah, that Xiaomi. So the Xiaomi that makes basically everything in China: tablets, headphones, robot vacuums, printers, appliances, and smartphones. And they even refer to the trims of this car as the SU7, SU7 Pro.
How fast can a Chinese EV do in a school zone? No, Marcus, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't test out the limits of the speed in a school zone.
SU7 Max and SU7 Ultra. So this here is the SU7 Max, and this retails for about 299,000 Chinese yuan, which actually converts to about $42,000 US, which is gonna be a lot more.
Dude, just fucking wait, dude. Dude, 42 grand for a car, and then you look at the car and you're like, what is the like comparison model to this in America? And then you realize, oh my fucking God, this shit is so ass.
Impressive in about 5 minutes. So base specs, this is a fully electric 4-door sedan, 101 kilowatt hour battery, dual motor, all-wheel drive, 673 horsepower, and 320 miles of range. Already, those are specs on paper on the level of like a Tesla Model 3 Performance, which today costs like $55,000. Now, looking around the outside of this car, it looks like a pretty reasonable car. I think a lot of people would agree, but that's the thing. This is Xiaomi we're talking about making this car. And they're not a car company, which means they don't have any previous designs that they have to pay homage to or any traditional lines and shapes that they have to keep around, which means a little bit less prestige, yes, but also a little bit more freedom. Because I see them taking stuff from all over the rest of the car industry in this car. Like these headlights, for example, that is very much a McLaren-looking headlight. And they have Lotus lines on the hood here. And then as you get back, even more. Kind of looks like a Porsche Taycan from the side profile, if I'm not crazy. It has these thin bezels like the Polestar, and then a thicker taillight across the back, which kind of looks maybe like a Lincoln or some others. And then there's a fully active wing on the back that kind of looks like a Mercedes AMG GT. All of these are more expensive cars from more premium brands, and so they kind of meld them all together into one car with this kind of unique purple color that honestly I think looks pretty good. And we're not even on the inside yet. So the inside here is where they really start to stack the wins. This is a nice car, not just in like a nice with an asterisk type of way, like, oh, this is nice for a $45,000 car, or oh, this is nice for a car I've never heard of. No, this is a nice car. It's got this pretty clean design all around the interior. Again, bringing in inspiration and premium features from a bunch of different places. Like these are comfortable, heated and ventilated leather seats. This heated steering wheel looks and feels a lot like a Porsche steering wheel to me, with the shape and the simplicity and just a few buttons with stalks at the bottom. There's a big, bright, and automatically aligning HUD in front of me, right in front of the road at all.
They're fucking stealing our IP, brother. Oh, no, sorry. They are stealing the IP. What are you doing? What are you doing, China? You are stealing the IP. 9!
All times. And that's right above a small display behind the steering wheel and then a 16-inch primary display in the center. And then there's storage everywhere. There's here in the middle between the front.
I've talked about how the one thing about like Chinese EVs that I hate is all the bells and whistles. And then Zeekr, the EV manufacturer, actually gave us some of their top line models like for free when we were in China to drive around in. I forget which one it was, but the ones that we were driving around in well, they didn't give it to us for free as in like they're mine now. They just gave it to us for the days that we were in, I think, Chengdu, right? And I take back everything I said about the bells and whistles, because a lot of the Chinese cars, like there's a big like Zeekr 9X SUV is the one you guys used, or the minivan. No, it was the minivan. We were in the minivan. And let me fucking tell you, okay, I actually like the bells and whistles now. I take back everything I said, because holy fuck, dude. Those cars are insane. Yeah, they had the massage seats. It was crazy. It was fucking crazy, brother.
Seats where they've also cleverly stored a flashlight powered by the car's battery, kind of like Rivian. And believe it or not, a tasteful amount of real hardware controls here. There's a power on-off button right here. There's temperature controls up and down, fan speed up and down at my fingertips. You can also put the...
Bro, this is literally the exact same. Both of these are the exact same image straight out of the Porsche. Maybe it's the same in other cars too, but this is straight up like this is the exact same. It looks identical to the Taycan. It doesn't in the Taycan. There's no. I don't think there's buttons in the Taycan for boosting the boosting the suspension.
Wing up or down at the back of the car, and there's a lift height because there is, of course, an adjustable air suspension. Up at the top, there's a pair of air-cooled 50-watt wireless chargers because, you know, if you got a Xiaomi car, you might as well have a Xiaomi phone with 50-watt wireless charging to match. So those go up there. There's also a huge tinted glass panoramic sunroof over my head. Very nice feature. The headliner is all Alcantara everywhere. And there are 25 speakers in this car that sound really good, and ambient lighting everywhere that pulses to the bass of your music in the colors of the album art of the song that's...
Yeah, this is the type of shit that I think is like too much. I still think this type of shit is too much. Like, I can't get myself to care about that. That's like, ugh, whatever.
Playing, because it's connected to the car and it just knows that type of thing. And that's not even mentioning the backseat experience of this car, which is also really nice. Those screens for the rear passengers are Xiaomi tablets, because of course they are. I haven't even driven it yet, and it's already feeling like a $60,000, $65,000 car. But there are not one, but two really cool features I've never seen in any other car that are in this one. So number one is the software. The software is so good. This feels like a preview kind of like what Apple might have done if they'd made an Apple car. I say that because it's super smooth, just like a smartphone, but also it's a car made by someone who makes a phone. And so the car plugs right into the Xiaomi ecosystem in so many ways. There's a wireless charger, but also wireless screen mirroring. It connects to various other Xiaomi smart home accessories like security cameras. You can sign in.
One of the most surprising things for me was how much the Chinese love Tesla still. And I guess I kind of understand it because, like, you know, they let Tesla operate in the country. It's like a premier. They don't like it as much anymore, but they still got a lot of motion. Tesla still has a lot of motion. I guess partially because they don't have, you know, Twitter out there, so they don't see what Elon is getting up to. You know what I mean? Also, to be fair, Elon does talk a lot of shit about every non-white minority except for the Chinese. I wonder why. I wonder why Elon never talks shit about China.
To them with the car with your account, so everything from text messages to map directions are all syncing from your phone. And hey, if all else fails, thankfully as a backup, this car also happens to have wireless Apple CarPlay, and it's nice.
Oh my God, I just realized something. Elon Musk is literally a Chinese spy. He's destroying the Western world by getting every Western government to collapse in and of itself by propping up the most incompetent fascist charlatans into positions of power and allowing the Western liberal capitalist world to collapse in and of itself. Yi Long Ma is real. I mean, seriously, I've joked about this before, but it's like, if you want to actually destroy, if you want to like genuinely terrorize the Western world, if you want to genuinely destroy America, vote Republican, right? There is perhaps no better way to accelerate the demise of American empire. And I guess technically Elon is doing that, and not just in America. He's doing that everywhere.
I think it is the biggest, nicest window of wireless CarPlay I have ever seen in a car. I think probably my favorite example of the software being incredible in this car is you see the speaker and the headrest behind me. When I'm driving and my phone is paired to the speakers in this car and I'm navigating, you know that part where like you're driving and the music's getting pretty good and right as the bass is about to drop, the navigation voice comes on and interrupts it?
That's true. I did write this. This is a thing that I said. Republicans did more damage to America after 9/11 than Al-Qaeda could ever dream of. That is a real quote from Hasanabi Piker. Bars. One of my best. And I stand by it.
That never happens in this car because it separates out the voice from the navigation and puts it just in that speaker behind me while all of the rest of the music and the sound in the car stays exactly the same. So as a driver, I hear the voice saying, turn left, turn right, but everything else, including the music for all the passengers, stays sick. That is my favorite software feature I've seen in a car in a while. So the software being awesome is the one thing, but the second awesome...
As a non-American chatter, the USA is not an empire, lol. We don't care from down under. Brother, we literally own your country. Your country houses one of the largest CIA bases on its soil. What the fuck do you mean? Pine Gap, baby. We own. Bro, I am from the Cook Islands. Not Australia. Okay, well, you said down under, so I thought you meant fucking Australia. Listen, you said down under. My mistake. But America owns is close enough. America owns you too, chatter.
Thing is the modules, because this is a modular interior. Because hidden around this car are a bunch of various mounting points for modular accessories. There's one over here in the corner and another over here in the center, all the way around the back of this center display. And so on these mounting points, you can attach various accessories that Xiaomi makes.
Chatter, the Cook Islands is Australia's fuck sleeve, and we're America's butt plug. What the fuck? What a visual. Listen, inshallah, one day, Australia will be firmly under the protectorate of China, okay? They're making major gains. Australians don't even realize it. They're so hostile. They're so hostile to the ownership exchange, going from one daddy to a much nicer one, to a much better one, okay? At least At least maybe you'll get some infrastructure improvements, you know? America gave you nothing. Drew Pavlov just had a stroke with those words. Dude, oh my God, I forgot. Oh my God, I can't wait for China to own Australia. And then when they do, Drew Pavlov will go to jail forever. Oh, that's yet another benefit for everyone in Australia, honestly. The gift that keeps on giving.
Like this extra speedometer and trip display, or this magnetic car mount in the corner of the car, or this super useful USB hub that gets full power.
I don't like remembering that I live in America when we're doing, you know, the daily dose of China, okay? China, what are you doing? What? What? What are you doing? What are you smelling over here? You already ate all the treats. You ate all the treats. You are so tall now, it's crazy. She just straight up is the height of the desk. Hello. Hello. I already gave you all the treats. I don't have any more. Fatty. Mogged. True.
Through a cable to passengers in the backseat or wherever they want. There's also high-quality microphones that pair to the car for a karaoke experience, or even long-range walkie-talkies for some reason if you need to maybe shoot a video with the car and communicate with the camera car. What other car does this? I've never seen the ability to customize exactly how much hardware or how little hardware you have in the interior layout like Xiaomi does. I mean, they're not a car company, clearly, but they've come up with some really innovative things to make the car uniquely your own. You can make it maximalist. You can make it minimalist. You can do as much or as little as you want. And that'll, of course, fluctuate the price you pay, but hey, that's up to you. I think that's pretty sick. All of that is without even mentioning all the little stuff like the active noise cancellation in here, the quality of the speakers, the surround sound, all of the other things that the software does really, really well. And I haven't even gotten to driving it yet.
No, not in the school district.
So this is obviously a standard issue 4-door electric car, right? But the superpower of electric cars is that they can have...
Can I ask why you're living in the US, but you don't want to remember living there? Just asking. Yes. The answer is, oh, you should move to my fatherland, Finland. Here, people have really same politics like you. I don't know if that's the case, but it's definitely closer at least. And no, the reason why I don't move out of the United States of America and into the heartland, the motherland of China, is because I am far too fucking annoying and far too stubborn. And I still believe that America holds great promise. America still has tremendous potential. We're just squandering said tremendous potential. And I wish that through my advocacy, I wish that we could improve people's lives here.
Multiple personalities. That's what makes these interesting. So in its default mode, which is comfort mode.
So you're delusional? Yes. Also, this is my home. No matter how much all of my neighbors tell me to fuck off and leave and go to China because I want to improve the neighborhood, it's still my neighborhood, you know? It is pretty funny, though. And far too honest in your commentary. You move there, you start seeing not everything is as perfect as it may seem. You'd have no way of pushing back like you do here in order to better the lives of the average people. I mean, I already know that. I already know that there's no, you know, I moved to China. I do the same commentary. I just don't talk about China. That's not a problem. You got to be a little delusional to realize actual change. True. You know? Having said that, you are the first Turkish born ABC. I am ABC. I'm just ABC. I was born here. I'm ABC, American born Chinese.
Pretty nice, actually. It rides super soft. It's chill. The air suspension is actually pretty incredible. I feel like this is on the same level of absorbing all these bumps and all these potholes and the things on the road as the Lucids that I've driven. Like, this is really quite good. And it never gets too unsettled. The accelerator pedal, it's responsive enough. It's not like super twitchy and aggressive. It's obviously the comfort mode, so you feel like you have all the power you need, but it rolls it on nicely and eases off when you remove your foot from the pedal.
And what a lot of other EVs don't have is this really high degree of customization over exactly how that feels. Like, there is a full-on power delivery slider. You can move it to be a fully rear-wheel drive vehicle all the way to a fully front-wheel drive vehicle.
And then the lift-off regen is nice and secure and assuring. This is you never have to take the car out of this mode if you never wanted to. This is a very reasonable thing to expect from a four-door electric car. But there's also a drive mode knob down here. If I just turn it one notch to the right, everything turns red. The graphics in front of me change. I get my estimated range and my speed and how much power I'm using. And then I rotate it again, and it's Sport Plus mode. And there's a G-force meter.
No, these aren't banned here because of Elon. No, these are banned here because of UAW, Ford, GM. I mean, Elon is like not even the fourth person petitioning to ban these things, you know?
Now all of a sudden the accelerator pedal is way more responsive and twitchy, and everything firms up, and the steering is definitely heavier. So this feels much more like a fun type of drive, and it's not quite on the maxed out level. Like, I know people want to compare this to Porsche Taycan. This is not Porsche Taycan levels of sporty, but it's like one notch below that, which is still really good. It's got all the EV party tricks, 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds, launch control, and even a little boost button where if you press the drive mode button, you get this crazy graphic on the screen, and then that's all of your power, which is sick. So obviously it does great in a straight line with 600 plus horsepower, but it kind of handles on the same level of Model 3 Performance or BMW i4. This is a really capable car. It's kind of like a wolf in sheep's clothes type of car where you see it on the road and it doesn't necessarily...
Yes, the Ford CEO literally loves his SU7 and said if they were ever released in the US, it would be game over. He did say that. Something along those lines, yeah. And he I think he even said his daily driver is the Chinese car that he shipped here. Yeah, Ford CEO said the US can't compete with Chinese EVs. Ford CEO loves daily driving an electric sedan from a Chinese competitor. Jim Farley admitted he has been driving a Xiaomi SU7 for 6 months and said he doesn't want to give it up. Another thing that fucking CEOs get to have that the average person doesn't, by the way. No, this is straight up. This was a big deal. The problem here is we don't even like, the issue here is, okay, you see that, you recognize it, you like it. I have a solution. Make competitive products. You know what I mean? No, never mind. No, best I can do is an even larger fucking F750. Great. Fucking love that. Thank you, Ford CEO Jim Farley. At least you get to individually enjoy it.
Look like something that has Porsche 911 Turbo S horsepower, but it does. And so yeah, it just gives you this confidence of being able to place the car wherever you want on the road, and that is the superpower of electric cars. Plus, it's got these active bolsters. The seats are hugging me when I go around turns, so when I turn right, the left bolster kind of like hugs, like catches me a little bit.
This is something those very expensive G-Wagons have done and popularized for a while now.
It's a little weird, not gonna lie, but
yes, F750 is a real car. I know it's a real car. Yes.
It just makes you think it's doing something.
You can't call it a car. It's a truck, and it's a truck. Not even a fucking like pickup truck at that point. Basically, I think it's a 750 or a 700. It's a once you go above like 4, I think once you go above like 4, you need a CDL, right? Like you need a commercial driver's license. I don't think you can have like a regular driver's license to drive those. I mean, they're fucking insane. They're F750 2016 Super Duty Crew Cab Power Stroke dually. I mean, they're kind of sick. I'm not gonna. They look fucking dope. Dude, it's fucking nuts, dude. It's so crazy. It's 1 mile per gallon. On the highway, this bad boy does 1 miles per gallon. That thing's got gout for sure. It's called freedom, bitch. I'll take 2. Damn, this one's sick too. Look at this. Oh, fuck. 19cc Ford Bronco, 3-speed, current bid 31 grand. Shit, these cars are so sick. Why does it have birthing hips? That's a car that you name, and the name is Bertha. It's actually so bad, 7 to 10 miles per gallon? Yeah, no shit, of course.
It's also become much more apparent as I'm driving this car how well built it really is. It does not feel anything like the $42,000 price tag might suggest. Like, obviously the materials are one thing, and you've got these leathers all around, and the stitching, and these different contrasted...
Bro, when you drive, when you get behind the wheel of that bad boy, the amount of kindergarten children that you can run over before figuring out that you've done a fucking holocaust of kindergartners is unlimited, okay? You could literally drive over an entire Boy Scout troop and not even know. You'd be like, what? It's just, I don't understand. What happened? Why is everybody yelling at me? I can't even hear them. I am so fucking high up. You wouldn't even think it's a pothole. You could drive over the fucking school, not just the school children, the school.
Materials, but also just in general, like it's quiet in here. I don't hear motor noise. I don't hear wind very much. I don't hear other cars or noises around me outside the car. Like I can verify that there are noises out there that I'm not hearing. It's sick. And then there's the active noise cancellation on top of that. So it just feels like a really serene, calm experience just because it's so well built. And you might have also noticed the LiDAR box right above me on the top of this car here, because the other button on the steering wheel is Xiaomi's full self-driving, which doesn't work on every road here in the US, but in China, you have Pilot Pro and Pilot Max, and those will take care of almost all of the driving on almost all of the roads the same way something like a Tesla Model 3 might here in the US. So I've turned it on this road. This is a smaller single lane road and is totally fine. And there's all sorts of things like obstacles that it has to avoid, and it handles that. It's never really done anything to give me pause or seem kind of weird, and it's not even designed for these roads or this market. So I imagine in China it's even better than this. I'm honestly trying to think of like a negative. Now that I've been living with this car and I've been driving it for weeks, I've driven and reviewed many other cars for the past couple years, and usually the downsides are so obvious. Like, oh, the tech is usually pretty bad, like the software is bad, but well, this is Xiaomi. Like, they make smartphones, they make all this tech already. The software is great. The self-driving works. The cameras are great. The displays are great. All the tech is there. And then all the EV fundamentals are also still there. It has the 300 plus miles of range. It has the quick charging, and it has the split personalities. It has the super chill, calm cruiser mode, and the 600 horsepower, brutal launch control, 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds, sporty mode. And then on top of all that, it's built super well. Like, it has all the sound isolation and all of the hardware features and creature comforts and physical buttons and all the modules and all this. And it's like, this feels nothing like a $42,000 car, which I guess conveniently brings me back to the title of this video. So are we cooked? Not yet, clearly. This car is not available here in the US. But you can see how we could be soon.
I genuinely, I'm not exaggerating when I say this is a $42,000 car that feels like a $75,000 car if it were made here in the US. And that's the thing that's most impressive about the Xiaomi SU7. And that's just this one. So really now that I've gotten to live with this and drive this here in the US among all the other cars I test, here's my take. It's not that there's any sort of crazy bleeding edge tech in this car that's impossible to replicate. Obviously the software is really good and the modularity and some of the features are kind of sick and we haven't seen them before. But like if you took this car apart, you wouldn't find anything inside, any like bleeding edge battery tech or anything that's impossible to replicate. This is a car made of normal car parts, but it's the putting them all together in one car that's so impressive.
I have seen this car actually. China's not playing the 100K Maestro S800. I've seen this car. There's a specialty.
Rims.
Wait, I saw this car in person, for the record. I saw this car in China, in Beijing, on stream. But there is an even cooler car, similar to this one, that is that's like that was like they only sell it to like fuck. There's a type of car. There's this kind of car in China where they only sell it to like party members. I forget what it's called though. Shit, I don't think it's this. Is it Hong? Yeah, I think this could be it. Hong. What is it? Hongxiao? Hongxi? And they have like a special trim on it too that's like yeah, inside China's most insane presidential car. The president's car is the same one. There's also a very cool, super limited version of it that they made. That was
Maybe you've heard of the Chinese brand Hongqi, but I guarantee you have never seen Hongqi cars like this.
There's one that's like a very specific color. I think this might be it. Or no, these are the old ones.
Top officials. This thing has a very vintage style to it and always has, particularly here on the front end. Looks like it drove straight out of the 1940s. This thing measures almost 6 meters in length. That's right, this Hongqi is a hunker. That guy's got quite a job on his hand trying to clean off this entire car. We don't know the official powertrain for this vehicle, but the previous Hongqi had a V12, one of the few Chinese-developed V12 engines ever produced. This one, well, maybe it'll be an EV, and if it is, I bet it's going to weigh a whole lot. Price for one of these babies? Somewhere around $1 million US. Looking for something a little bit more.
You can't even buy it though. I'm pretty sure they only sell it to like party members and shit. Like the top of the line one is only sold to people that have to give you their like resume, stuff like that. It's crazy.
Back, a wine chiller. Real wood trim back here too.
That's crazy.
As the icing on the cake for today's video, we're going to be giving you a look at this, the ELS concept car. This EV SUV is part.
I'm pretty sure Hongqi literally means red flag, so that would track. Yeah. Anyway, we're not just looking at other Chinese cars.
Not often you see a car with great software, great features, great build quality, great versatility.
You can get these modern looking ones, yeah, but I don't want the modern looking ones. I want the fucking OG looking one. I think like one of the only non-Chinese people that owns one is like the head of a state. What is it, like the Sultan of Brunei or something that has like the crazy car collection? I think that was one was like gifted, and that's it.
Great range and a great drive and all stacked together, like that's pretty elite. There is basically no question in my mind that if a car like this was available in the US for $42,000, that it would crush, of course.
Actually, it might have been Kim Jong-un and maybe Putin too.
It isn't is of course inherently political, and there's all the tariffs and import fees and all that. That's super variable, and we may never get a car like this available in the US for $42,000, but Europe will. Allegedly in 2027. And I would say that the competition over there is at least in a little bit of trouble when that happens. The idea that the competition is getting stronger and that cars like this actually exist some other places in the world is really exciting and heightens the ceiling for all EVs. It raises the ceiling up for all cars to get better and more impressive and more complete like this one. So lesson learned. It's going to be fascinating to keep an eye on this stuff in the future. If you want a more raw, like daily living with this vehicle type of video, check out the autofocus channel where I shot a video on the Xiaomi phone of the Xiaomi car. Thanks for watching. So hey, it is of course the holiday season. And in case you
What would you do if they gifted one to Speed? What can I do? He deserves the world, man. You know? He deserves it. I'm just glad that someone is out there, someone worthy out there is getting it. You know what I mean?